Hi everybody, I will continue recording more videos about how I set up my local development environment for compiling and running Scala web applications. So similarly to the previous videos, I load the main page for the repository Scala web application template from Wiringbits. I'm going to navigate to the documentation section, and then I'm going to navigate to the setup development environment. We have already set up all the compile time dependencies, we have already set up all the runtime dependencies, and we're able to specify custom configuration as well as executing the backend and the frontend with this. And then it is very important that you are able to test the application changes with integration and unit test. So for that it is very important to set up Docker, because IntelliJ, or well, not IntelliJ, Scala, the Scala tests that we are writing are bootstrapping a new database every time that we are executing a test by using test containers. Let me open IntelliJ just to show you one example. So I can go right here to the server section, to the test, and to the controllers. For example, we can use the out controller spec, and this is bootstrapping everything by using the play Postgres spec that we have defined here. That is extending from some placeholder utilities for play, for issuing requests, and from test containers, which is launching the Postgres database with some temporal details. So this way your local database is not being polluted, and you are testing with a real database that will be used for production. For example, in this case, this is in Postgres 13, and it's a container. So in a test, we are launching the container and executing the code. So let me get back to the out controller spec that is right here. For example, this will set up the whole database for you, and we can click directly into the button for executing the test, but this is going to fail because we need the Docker dependency in order to actually launch the containers. So test has been compiled, but they are failing because we cannot get a valid Docker environment. So let's proceed to install Docker. This is claiming that we can install Docker desktop for Linux. But the truth that I prefer the version that is for a Docker server. I'm not sure if it might be this one. Docker Engine. I prefer Docker Engine by managing everything with the CLI. I do not need to install anything because I do not have anything related to Docker just yet. So in order to install it, this is like you can install Docker Desktop, which I do not want to do. That's my personal preference. You can follow the step if you like. And then I will need to set up the repository. What is repository over HTTPS? What is that? Anyway, this is claiming that first I need to run apt update, and then I need to execute this script, and for that I need to launch a new terminal. I'm going to paste the content, I need to put my password, and then it says that everything has been already installed, so I need to add the keying for the repository from Docker, and I need to add this too. And this is the safe space plugin from C#. Otherwise the command will have been executed just automatically. So this is done. Use the following command to set up the repository. I'm going to do this. Control A to move to the start of the line. I will delete the space. Everything seems to be good, so I need to run update. I prefer apt instead of apt-get. And then, assuming that there are no problems with this, which is apparently fine on this, I can move on in order to install Docker Engine. Oh, I missed that there is a button to copy the command, so you can use that instead. So let me install Docker Engine. Let's give it some time, and then It says that this is installed in the latest version, and we can verify the Docker engine is actually working by executing the hello world command. So give it a couple of minutes, well, seconds I believe, and it will hopefully work. Creating symlink, docker container, symlink, something else. It's done. So sudo docker hello world. Okay, then Docker seems to be installed, and we had verified that Docker is now working. Still, this is not enough, because like you saw, we require sudo in order to execute the Docker commands, and we don't want to run IntelliJ with sudo. So the next step that we need to follow is to make sure that we can run this without sudo. So post installation setups for Linux, this is it. Manage Docker as non-root user, that's what we want to do. In short, we are going to create this group. Apparently it already exists, and we need to include our user into this Docker group like this. And it says that if we log out and log back, now the everything should work. You can also run follow to activate, or I can run the following command to activate this. I'm not sure, but we will try. We'll see if it works. And if I go to run Docker without sudo, it worked. Wonderful. Given that it worked, I'm going to proceed to go to the test that I executed before, and I'm going to run it. And let's see if this works as expected. So give it some time. It is still complaining, and I believe that it might be a similar situation to the thing that I had to do, potentially restarting the terminal like this. So let me try if launching IntelliJ again with a brand new terminal works. We will see. IntelliJ is catching up. Scanning. Give it some time. Still waiting, and it's ready. So let me run it again, and let's see how it goes. If this does not work, I will need to restart my whole computer. I hope not to need that, but we will see. And also, the first time that I am executing the test, it will likely take a while or even fail. Yeah, this is still failing, so I need to restart my computer. So I need to pause the video, restart my computer, and see how it goes.